On the interior side of this Tier 3 assembly, we've used a smart vapor retarder for the vapor barrier. And so what that means is essentially when the vapor drive is reversed, as soon as the backside of this barrier gets to a certain level of relative humidity, the pores open up and allow drying towards the interior. So when we have those warmer months when the vapor drive is in reverse, it helps to combat moisture that might build up there. We didn't have to make this layer airtight since we did do the WRB as the air control layer, but we wanted to do a belt and suspenders approach, so try to make both layers as airtight as possible to help alleviate any sort of air control issues. That being said, we don't have to, with this assembly, we don't have to continue this control layer underneath the plates or anything like that to make sure that it continues on, because the air control layer being on the outside, we don't have to deal with that detailing around the floor assemblies and whatnot, which is one of the benefits of having that control layer to the exterior. But we did still tape all the joints and tape around the windows quite well and around the electrical boxes, so that we do try to maintain as airtight as possible for that belt and suspenders approach. When the trusses go onto this assembly, the vapor barrier on the underside of those trusses is the air control layer. It's not on the outside of the roof. So we do have to transfer that layer from the exterior WRB into the interior to tie into that vapor barrier on the underside of the trusses. So what happens there is the framer in between his top plate and his cap plate will add a membrane that will go and tie into the WRB on the outside and then tie into the interior. And then that vapor barrier on the underside of the trusses wraps down and gets taped to here as well, maintaining that air control layer. Touching on the window installation of this wall assembly, we already showed how we maintained that air control layer. With the window installation in this Tier 3 assembly, since it's got 2 inches of exterior mineral wool, there is a couple of different ways that we can install this window. So this one, we showed it directly onto the sheathing membrane as if it was a standard wall. One of the benefits of that is that it's quite easy to do. Most framers are comfortable with installing a window right on the framing layer. The one downfall of that is that you do have to have custom flashings and make a custom trim return detail. We can install this window out at the outside face of the mineral wool and the strapping. What you'd have to do there is frame your rough opening most likely a bit wider, and then frame some sort of frame that goes out to be able to support that window at the exterior of the wall there.